Ben, did she deserve this award?
For what?
For courageously coming forward, for having been an athlete of great prowess and now fighting a new battle.
What exactly is the battle? I mean, self-definition is what you do, and my baby's doing it 18 months old. I wasn't aware that you get a medal for it.
She good?
I think she's a fraud. I thought the message and the messenger were wrong. I was in the audience at the ESPYs, and if you want to talk about courage, she said it herself in her speech that she retreated to her mansion in the Hill and was... Where was she in the 70s when the LGBT community was fighting for acceptance?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gimme 5. That is a discussion on HLN, CNN's HLN, talking about Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, and the Arthur Ashe Courage Award, which he got at the ESPYs. And I believe he's a fraud, too, in that respect and other respects. And this conversation gets a little ugly in just a moment. But before we get to that part, watch more.
She's a 65-year-old rich white woman that decided to do this, but don't tell me you're walking the truth for other transgender kids of color who don't have that war chest of money to get the surgery to look like she looks. They're not going to get the cover of Vanity Fair. So don't tell me that she is going to stand on the banks waving her hand as the beacon for transgenders when there's a river of blood of people that die.
All right, so it all comes down to she's a rich white woman. You know, because it all comes down to race. Doesn't it always come down to race to some people? Unbelievable. But then there's this other guest on the panel, Zoe Tur. Zoe Tur, a pilot who is transgender, has a daughter who's a reporter for NBC News, by the way, I believe. And watch this.
Did she deserve the honor? Probably not. Is she brave? Of course she's brave. All those years invested as this sports legend. To come out transgender is horribly difficult. It is the most difficult thing you can do. I've been overseas. I've flown helicopter missions, surveillance missions. I've been shot, stabbed. Being brave is being yourself. And being transgender is about the bravest thing you can do.
Okay, so she's been when he was in the military apparently, and this is braver and this is harder than being shot at and stabbed and everything else. I don't know about that, but whatever Tur says. Now, Ben Shapiro has a question about this whole transgender issue. Watch.
Why are we mainstreaming delusion?
It's not delusion.
Why would you call it delusion?
Because Bruce Caitlyn Jenner, I'll call him Caitlyn Jenner.
No, it's her. You're not being polite to the pronouns.
Because
disrespectful.
Okay, forget about the disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out that every chromosome, every cell in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male, with the exception of some of his sperm cells. It turns out that his brain structure is male. It turns out that he still has all of his male appendages. How he feels on the inside is irrelevant to the question of his biological sex.
I mean, he makes a relevant point, does he not? If, in fact, Bruce Jenner still has his male appendages, then he's still a male. I mean, biologically, chromosome, by every definition, by every scientific measure, he's a male. He could have his face done. He could get a boob job. He could have a wig. He could put on heels. He could put on a dress. But if he still has his, his male parts and everything, he's a male. Right? Well, that didn't sit well with Zoe Tur. And watch this.
So you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on genetics.
Would you like to discuss the genetics? Or
well, no,
what
no.
are your genetics?
So I'd stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
No, I know. Well, but wait, to be fair, but to be fair, you're actually being rude. And that's not fair.
I'm sorry, it's not rude to say that someone who's biologically a male is a male.
Someone who's biologically a male is a male, he said. She put her hands on him and threatened him on national television, if you keep this up, you'll go home in an ambulance. And then the panel, you heard a little bit of it, come to Tur's defense. Oh, you were rude. You insulted her. Oh, yeah. I don't care. That doesn't justify putting your hands on someone. In fact, as the reports I saw, he filed a police report against Tur because he said after the show, she said, I'll see you in the parking lot. So CNN security reportedly had to escort him to his car. Hey, that's all right. She's transgender, so she could do whatever she wants, or he could do whatever he wants, and nobody will say boo. Thanks for watching.